Start your day with the right choice. Body Aqua Fitness, the purity your body needs. Introducing Body Aqua Fitness, a pure drink with no unnecessary additives. No sugar, no sodium, no caffeine, just healthy hydration and natural energy. For your body, for your health, and for a balanced lifestyle, choose Body Aqua Fitness.
Body Aqua, all the yum without the tum.
You're live with Alvin After Dark, brought to you by Auto Lease Direct, located at 4219 Merrick Road in Massapequa, New York. So if you're sick and tired of waiting hours and hours at a dealership, please visit those guys at Auto Lease Direct at 4219 Merrick Road without no hassle. 516-442-4141. What's going on? What's going on? How you feeling, brother?
Evening.
You good?
Nice and warm in here.
It is
cold out there.
It is cold. It is 21 degrees outside and feels like 6.
Absolutely.
That's what they said. Also, how was your Valentine's Day?
Valentine's Day was as a regular day. Business as usual, man. Business as usual. Just a little more red cookies.
I didn't do anything Valentine's Day. I actually stayed home and I went to the gym.
Oh, okay. Self-love. That's
self-love. Try to help as well. There were some. There were some pretty young things in there too. There were some pretty young things in there. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Not everybody's coupled up.
No, they're not. Listen, if you're just tuned in, you're watching Alvin After Dark, and we have some interesting topics this evening. Actually, the topic for tonight is going to be that do men experience toxicity in the relationship? And how much do they experience? Believe it or not, men are experiencing a toxic relationship at alarming numbers. And what do you think the number is?
Above 50%.
It's actually close to 50%. It's actually 48.8% of men experience toxic women in the relationship.
This is a topic that is rarely discussed.
Very rarely.
It's usually the reverse.
Exactly. We're talking about how men are narcissists and they're controlling.
Gaslighting.
They're gaslighting and they could, they're whatever it is.
Correct.
But 48.8% of women are toxic to men in the relationship. Hey, what's going on, brother Ortiz? How you feeling, man? What's good? Always on.
Oh, what's
he's
up?
He's tuned in. Hopefully, like I said, we're gonna have him on the show with us whenever he's readily available to be on the show. But it's crazy because those are alarming numbers, and what's even crazier is when we Googled information, looked at the stats. Would you believe that men like dating toxic women? So we're going to go over that stuff with you in a minute. That's the topic for the show tonight. We're going to talk about it and get into the reasons and the actual stats and the true stats of what's going on and why men are in these relationships at such a high alarming numbers.
Not to cut you up, is a toxic relationship considered like a challenge for the guy?
That's part of what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
But on the flip side, I was trying to find a clip that actually 2 clips, and I couldn't find it. But I'm gonna tell you what it is, and I wish I would have found it. One is with a woman who was telling her boyfriend to come out the house, and it's in either I think Baltimore, and she rams her car into his apartment. They have row homes, row apartments.
Right.
She's ramming her, and he comes out the house. No, I'm sorry. Excuse me. She's chasing him in the car. He's dodging the car, like playing cat and mouse with the car. She runs into someone's apartment. The woman comes out, and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing to my apartment?" And he's laughing, going, "Ha ha ha! Look at you! You ran into this lady's house." But it's just crazy.
They sound like they're both toxic.
They're both toxic. But here's a clip of I wanted to show this clip because I don't know if it's toxic or not, but the comments are crazy in the comment section of a woman trying to grab a man's hand. So it's very interesting. Very interesting. So, I mean, the clip was sent to me for obvious reasons. Obviously, because she has body, obviously. But it was sent to me because someone said, would I have let that person grab my hand? I'm a different person. I'm just a whole different person. I'm just different. I'm just gonna be different. But with that clip, the guy was just totally turned off completely.
Yes.
He was completely turned off.
Very unexpected by her, I bet.
Yes. And I think that she was anticipating a different response. And she was hoping that because of her looks and her figure,
I was just gonna say
that she would have been able to, like, oh my God, how you doing? And he probably would have, put his arms around it, whatever it is. But was that toxic behavior?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is. From her, yes.
Yes. Why is that?
It's toxic behavior because you're basing the reactions and outcomes on your physical appearance.
Okay.
Okay, I got on a short dress. I'm a full body woman. This is gonna be easy.
So she felt she was using her sex appeal
Absolutely.
to win him over, and she found out the hard way. She was embarrassed.
Yes.
She thought, if you see the clip, play the clip again.
That's reality check, though.
Let's play it again. So we're gonna play it again, and she goes up to him, and it's strange because she's thinking, because she looks good and she has the figure that she has and she has a sex appeal, that she will not
Be rejected.
get rejected.
Yes.
And in essence, she got rejected. The comment section went crazy. LA, that was on Facebook, right? So the comment section went crazy on her. But once again, is that because once again, like people were just going crazy and saying, like, for instance, someone says, put some clothes on. I'm sorry, but you're not presenting yourself or representing women correctly. Someone else says, you guys see nipples and you go crazy. Someone
Was
says,
there any bashment towards the man? Like, oh,
yeah, someone said he must be gay.
I knew it.
If it was the other way around, she would have done the same thing.
Absolutely.
Good for him. Nobody wants a stranger grabbing them. What's wrong with this guy? That lady is young and gorgeous. Oh, now she feels rejected. How sad. I'd run too. She's looking to make some money. Like, listen, like O said, that's harassment. If men do it, they can go to jail. So, once again, the topic is, do men experience toxicity and being toxic in a relationship? And we saw that it's 48.8% of men experience toxic women in a relationship. And here it says men, like anyone, can experience toxic behavior from women. And it's important to recognize and address such situations, whether in personal or professional settings.
Can we call toxic behavior also like dysfunctional behavior?
Yeah, of course. Here's a breakdown of recognizing and addressing toxic behavior. So recognizing the behavior: manipulation, feeling controlled or pressured to do things you don't want to do. So believe it or not, more men experience that. They may not talk about it, but they experience it. More men experience toxicity, or as it's playing, being controlled in a relationship, feeling pressured. And how do women pressure men?
Women do most of the things that they say we do.
Yes, they do.
And it's not as much emphasis put on it when they do it.
No, not at all.
But we are very much the bad guy if it's done. It's like gaslighting is a man's word. Like, when they use it, it's like mostly men use gaslighters. Mostly men are not physically, but psychologically abusive.
Exactly.
But there's a lot of women out here that are destroying the safety that we feel in relationships because of that behavior. That
is true. It also says here, constant criticism, being constantly put down or made to feel inadequate. There are several times you see men in relationships where women are putting them down. What was the movie? There's a Tyler Perry movie. with I forgot the name, which movie it is. With she's messing with Mr. Cartwright because someone just sent me the clip. She's messing with Mr. Cartwright, and apparently that the son is not the husband's son. And she at the end of the movie, she's telling him, "You're not a Cartwright. You'll never be a Cartwright because he took money out the joint account so he can build a construction company." And she just went in on him. I mean, that's a movie, obviously, and I'm using that as an example. But on a continual basis, look at how many times women are belittling and emasculating men on a constant basis. Other thing also is you said gaslighting, being made to doubt your sanity or the reality of what you're going through. So women do it to men. On a continual basis. Also, emotional abuse, being subjected to. We just said that being subjected to verbal attacks, insult, and threats on a continual basis, and we see it. Listen, we. Here's what it is, and like I said, I don't want people to think that this is that podcast we're going to be bashing women.
Correct.
And I'm not saying we're and that's not what we're going to do and talk about what we bashing women, but women do not hold themselves accountable. Excuse me, women do not hold themselves accountable. There's no accountability to men in relationships. Women do not hold themselves accountable. They do not. And it's something that men talk about in the barbershop. Men talk about on a consistent basis. And once again, not bashing women per se, but just in the friendship, in the relationship, how are you holding yourself accountable? And why are you being such a toxic person in that relationship?
I think their number one toxic behavior is the way they emotionally react.
Yes, they do, because they use their emotions to get the betterment of the situation. Because what we as men do, we fall for it. And it's this lack of. I'm just reading lack of accountability. The person never apologizes or takes responsibility for their actions. It's very few times where women say, "I'm sorry."
Correct.
Oscar says women are more toxic these days because they are the primary breadwinner in the household. They are now. They are. They are. Hey, Tamara, what's going on? So if you're just tuning in, we're talking about that in relationships, 48%, well, men experience, rephrase that, 48.8% of men are in toxic relationships.
You think there's a lack of femininity?
I think women, because like Oscar just said, that women are now breadwinners in a relationship now. And I see that because, listen, you guys know I sell cars. So I get customers credit applications. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of my women customers make a lot of money. And I'm talking about from 150 and up. A lot of my female customers make great money. And I'm not using those particular people, but now you have a situation where more and more women are making more money because more and more women are finishing up their degrees and they're going into higher levels of education. So they're making the money.
And salute you women who do that.
Of course, definitely
Again,
salute you.
We're not here to bash women.
I just think it's a matter of when to be soft in the relationship and when not to. And we all have roles in relationships. Listen, my parents have been married for going on 49 years in June, together for over 55, right? And everyone knows my mom. My mom is very boisterous. Very, very, and she is more boisterous than Mr. Peters. But as boisterous as she is, she still allows him to be the man that he's supposed to be. I think that,
that's important.
That's important. And also the times were different, so, and women who know they're in relationships are toxic, know that they're toxic. And the bad part is that their friends don't tell them.
Absolutely. That's another thing.
There's no accountability on that part. They don't tell them, like it says. Also, unpredictability. The person's behavior is erratic and difficult to understand. Like I said, I was on a date.
Bipolarism.
Yeah, bipolar. I was on a date, and this young lady, I said to you, she makes great money. You know, she's a social worker. She works for the city. This was a while ago, and my friend came in town, and I said, I'm going to get white girl wasted. Like I said last week, whatever. I was joking. And she was like, oh, what you're saying is that you have to get white girl wasted because you didn't have a good time with me. So you have to drink alcohol to have a great time. And she just went in, and I'm like, wait a minute. What in the world does that have to do with me saying, get white girl wasted? You know? So once again, it's being unpredictable. And that person's behavior is erratic. Listen, I've seen women go. How many times have you seen women go off in restaurants?
Yes.
You know, go off on the handle or screaming and screaming. Listen, by you yelling and screaming and being argumentative is not going to make your point or get your point across any better. Kill them with kindness. You know. It goes
Stay
to
classy. Stay classy.
Stay classy. Stay classy, not trashy. Listen, be a lady when you're supposed to be and a bitch when you gotta be. Hostility. The person is consistently unfriendly and shows open dislike. And you know, a lot of people are not in relationships that they want to be in. So, and since they're not in those relationships that they want to be in, and they're already toxic, it adds more fuel to the fire.
Absolutely.
You know? She says, mental health is so real. Mental health, you know, we don't understand how important mental health is because it's not seen. And because it's not seen, that you can look at someone as good as they may look and think that everything is okay when everything is not okay. You know, and we don't understand that. You know, we don't understand that. It's something that we need to, you know, it's about healthy communication. People say they want to communicate, but communicating and comprehension go hand in hand. How well can I communicate, and how well do I comprehend the other person who I'm involved with? You know, and also be yielding to each other. You know, and I think you know what a yield sign is. Slow down. I think, like I said, the moment you raise your voice or you're in that you're in that constant toxic behavior, because what's going to happen is if I'm like this, and then you're like this, and also going to be is this. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar says, he says, when women suffer trauma, they become more aggressive to cope with that trauma, redirecting the anger towards men. That is true. That is true. And I think that's something that people themselves just need to deal with personally, and they need to deal with that personally. And I don't know how they know how to deal with that. And it's important that they figure it out, you know?
Yes.
And it's sad. It's sad.
And these are usually traumas from past relationships that they never dealt with, they never looked into. So now it's carrying over to the next relationship, And that's not just couples relationships, it's friendships as well.
Exactly.
It's sibling relationships.
It's friendships with your friends. Yeah. It's your work relationship.
Yeah.
It's your, you know, how you behave to people, how you behave to strangers. Look at the amount of people who are traveling, and look when something happens that is a natural disaster that the airline cannot fix, rainstorms or whatever those things are, and then the person's behavior goes left field because they can't board that plane, or their flight is delayed, or they feel that they've been taken advantage of. They don't know how to cope with that situation. Mm-hmm. So internally, they're already a ticking time bomb. So then everyone else around them has to deal with it.
Yes, sir.
And I say this because, listen, I watch social media to get content, to see what's going on. And the majority of times, it's not men that are fighting, that are behaving in such a way. It's women. It's really women. From what I've seen, just from what I've seen, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. I'm not just saying women are toxic. Men are as toxic as women. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in this situation, we're talking about how 48.8% of men are experiencing toxicity in their relationship. And that's high. That's a high number. You asked me a question earlier about why do men date toxic women? Mm-hmm. It says here, excitement and challenge. Men are attracted to toxic women because they think emotional intensity means passion and excitement. Roller coaster relationships have high highs and low lows, which can be like a drug. Nurturing instincts. Some men have an instinct to save or fix their partners.
Yes.
So, yeah, some men is Mr. Captain Save-A-Hole. Yes. Yes. So some men are Mr. Captain Save-A-Hole. Listen.
Or the goal is I could fix her. I could change her.
Well, we were having a conversation in the car about someone who I know. I'm not gonna say who the person is or where the person lives. I said, yeah, I'll holler at that. I said, I think I can fix. I said, I think I can fix. I didn't say that.
Just tonight.
I said that today in the way in the car right here. I said, yeah, I said, yo, she's a cutie. She looks good, naturally beautiful, nice body, petite, takes care of herself. She's very, very in tune with who she is, but she's bipolar. And I said she's bipolar. Yes. She's definitely bipolar. But listen, if you are that woman and you are seeking help, you can listen. If you have health insurance, go. Mental health is real. Like seeing a therapist is definitely real. Listen, if you're just tuned in, you're tuned in to Alvin After Dark, and we're discussing men who are dating toxic women. That 48.8% of men are in toxic relationships or deal with toxic women. You can call in 516-945-9099 if you want to share your thoughts, or you can just tune in, keep texting on the thread. And that's our topic for this evening. And once again, Alvin After Dark is brought to you also by Body Aqua. It is the metabolic boosting, diabetic friendly, vegan friendly, no caffeine, no colors, and it has electrolytes. And you can find it at Walmart.com. Also brought to you by Auto Lease Direct. If you're in the market for a new car, give those guys a call, Auto Lease Direct. So no, we got a couple
Start your day with the right
No. Play it, please. Play it.
Start your day with the right choice. Body Aqua Fitness, the purity your body needs. Introducing Body Aqua Fitness, a pure drink with no unnecessary additives. No sugar, no sodium, no caffeine, just healthy hydration and natural energy. For your body, for your health, and for a balanced lifestyle, choose Body Aqua Fitness.
Body Aqua, all the yum without the tum.
It's going to this my boy's drink. I have my Invisalign in, so normally when I drink anything, any juices or anything, I take it out just because it doesn't hold. But it's Body Aqua, and it doesn't bother me, and I don't taste this, like whatever's in it will seep into my Invisalign. So it's actually pretty good. It really is, and it's real great especially when it's cold and it's a natural product. Definitely natural products. Definitely good. So check them out. Walmart.com. Please check them out. Okay. So listen, this is part of the show. What do we call this part of the show again? We show videos. What'd you say it was called again? Check this out. No, what'd you say?
What was it?
I forgot. Listen, now this.
Now this. There it goes.
Listen, now this. Part of the show, we give you a little bit of entertainment to lighten up the mood a little bit. And I think Grandma was trying to get on the boat, but just missed the mark.
Woo! Grammy's first on the boat!
Grammy the first and the last. I know y'all ain't about to get on that boat. Wet in the water!
Yes, indeed. And you also have a young man who, he was fed up. He had a long day at school, apparently, and he was fed up.
No, do you hear me? I'm quaky, I'm tired. I worked hard at school. Okay?
Alright, so what? You don't want me to mess with you tonight?
No, I'm quaky, I'm tired. I worked hard at school. Watch
You're not going to wrestle here in a little bit?
Well, maybe.
Oh.
If I stop getting cranky and tired.
Listen, here at Alvin After Dark, we always want to bring you some little bit of joy in a serious matter sometimes when we're talking. And, laughter is good for the soul. It takes 72 muscles to frown and only 42 muscles to smile. So what you better start doing is you better start smiling. Let's see what Oscar says. Oscar says, hey, it says men have a problem trying to fix a woman who are toxic. So they can brag about their accomplishment. But what men don't realize is that they can't fix what broke them. That is true. That's true. For me, it wasn't a matter of me just wanting to fix for my accomplishment. I just wanted to do something.
Alvin wanted to be a hero.
I just want to be here. I want to be Superman. What other video we got there, LA?
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn.
You know, it's crazy. I go to the gym with a Planet Fitness, and people do the most strangest, and I want to videotape them, but I'm not the kind of person where I constantly put out my phone to take pictures of things or video people. I just don't have it in me. I'm not that fast with or quick draw with the camera or the phone. I just not me. But people are strange, and I think those people are toxic. But people are definitely strange. I see people do the most weirdest things in the gym, and I look at them. I say, why are you doing that over here on this machine? So that what that person was doing, people actually do those crazy things. I'm going to try to catch somebody tomorrow. I try to go to the gym like 3-4 days a week, trying to bring sexy back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. It definitely is crazy. But listen, if you're just tuned in, we are discussing for how 48.8% of men are in toxic relationship with women, and it's alarming, and it's crazy. As a matter of fact, it says, go back here. Where this says why some men fall for toxic traits in women, right? So, like earlier, it says, why do men fall for toxic women? Excitement and challenge. Men are attracted to toxic ladies because they think emotional intensity means passion and excitement. And there's a nurturing instinct, so some men wants to fix them. But are they... I had a lost train of thought. I was reading something here. It says, how do past relationships influence attraction to toxic traits? So, all these things tie in together. And I think one of the things that people should do, from my experience, is that when you are ending or leaving a relationship, you take time. And we're talking about seeing a therapist. See a therapist. You should really see a therapist. If you have insurance, seek help. Seek help. So it's going back over to, it's I just said it, seek help. And right here it says addressing toxic behavior, addressing it. Also, I think as we get older, we don't want to do certain things. And as we get older, we have boundaries. And I think we should set those boundaries early, because here it says set boundaries. Clearly communicate what you will and will not tolerate. And I think people don't do that.
I agree.
And it's also in the workplace. When I was at BMW at the dealership, one of the managers said something to me. Mostly all the managers there were 10 years my junior, so the guys were 10 years younger than me, and they had a lot of respect for me because I was in the military. I'm older, so and they just had that respect for me, which I appreciated. And one day they said something to me. And I, as I don't get bent out of shape too easy, but I went into the office and I closed the door and I had all of them in front of me. And I said, I'm not only a military man, I said, but I'm your senior. I said, most of you guys are over 10 years or more older than you. I said, I not only command, but I demand the respect from each of you. And ever since then, they apologized, and it was no problem. It was playing around, and they said something to me, and I was like, who are you talking? And once again, my demeanor was not to go off on the showroom floor. I went to the side and pulled them aside, and they didn't realize that they offended me. And it was cool ever since then. I don't have an ego. I mean, sometimes I do, but I really, really don't. So so Oscar says low vibration people attack other low vibration people. Yes, hurt people hurt people. It is definitely true. It is definitely true. Also prioritize your well-being. Focus on your own needs and safety. So that's important. I think that we don't realize that, you have to be safe and prioritize who you are and what you want in your relationship and your friendship with people. How we doing over here?
Going well, man. I would love to hear from some of the ladies.
But Tamara did say, mental health is real. She said, correct, Rico. We get a chance to read it what she was saying. But we got a few people on watching us. But listen, if you're tuned in to Alvin After Dark, we live every single Tuesday on Facebook Live. And we discuss entertainment, fashion, health, relationships, and trending topics, also giving a platform to entrepreneurs to market themselves. And speaking about that, I did speak to Vic. Remember Vic from The Hut? I spoke to him. It's called Vic, and it's called The Hut. And he's located on Williamsbridge Road, right off Eastchester in the Bronx. And last time we had Kim on, we had some shirts that said, "I'm so Bronx." So I spoke to him today. He's remodeling his store. So I told him I'll get some stuff from him, and we spoke about it because I had to give him a call because he went to Lehman High School with me, and I'm doing a Lehman High School alumni brunch reunion on July 26th at Frankie's and Johnny's, Pine Frankie's and Johnny's.
Nice. That's
going to be nice. Last one we did was 10 years ago, 2015, at Pine Frankie's and Johnny's on the rooftop. And it's crazy how things go up because at that time, the price was $75 for it. This time we have to pay $150. That was 10 years ago. But listen, we're getting Bellinis, mimosas, champagne, a breakfast station, a lunch station, a cold display menu, antipasto menu. So it's gonna be a nice turnout.
That sounds good.
Yeah, definitely gonna be nice. July 26th it's a brunch from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. I didn't realize that Frankie's and Johnny's had a nice area in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Nice patio as well.
Outdoor?
Yeah. Well, it's
okay.
the patio. The patio connects to the ballroom. I didn't realize it was that big. It's nice back there. Listen, once again, we're always going out together with our circle of friends and going to different restaurants. So we're gonna start telling you which restaurants to go to, which restaurants not to go to. Also gonna start doing an advice. So I'm gonna have advice on my social media. People who want to talk about get some advice from me. And maybe good advice, maybe bad advice. I really don't know. It can go left, it can go right. I don't know. But just tune in. Definitely tune in. Yeah, definitely tune in. But back to what we were talking about, how 48% of men experience toxic women. And it says also consider leaving, right? So how many men do you think consider leaving the relationship? Here we go.
The percentage of men?
How many percent? What do you think?
Less than 30.
Well, it doesn't say. I was just curious, but it does say. What's going on is that there is, if the behavior is causing significant harm, it may be necessary to end the relationship and remove yourself from the situation. But the challenge is how many men actually do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, listen, how many men have really said to yourself, they're going to leave the relationship? I'm going to leave. I'm not going to stay. It really is a challenge that, men are in a position that they're in and they don't leave. Like the thing is like, okay, why is it so hard to leave the relationship if it's toxic? And once again, what is keeping you to stay in this relationship if it's toxic? You know what I'm saying?
I think it goes back to him trying to be able to fix her or save her.
Okay. Well, here, it even says here, right? It says, for professional settings, report the behavior to HR or authorities. So now, so is he snitching on himself? I don't know. Because it says,
yes.
Remember.
Yes, he is.
So it says, remember, no one's perfect in every moment, and people can change. So there are no toxic people. You are not the toxic person, or you are not, or not in your behavior. You may make your behaviors better to reflect the person that you want to be.
You think toxic femininity is a form of misogyny?
Yeah. Do you think so? I think to a degree.
Yeah.
So, like Oscar says, Men will stay in toxic relationships. 80% of women initiate divorce. That is true. That is true. 80% of women, more women do initiate the divorce. That is true. So if you're tuning in, because I put it on Instagram Live, you're tuned in. We're discussing toxicity in relationships, how men experience, 48.8% of men experience toxicity in a relationship. And that's an alarming number. It's almost half of men experiencing those bad situations in relationships. Are you really?
Yeah. Again, like we were saying earlier, the reason why this is a topic is because it's usually the other way around, where men are considered the toxic half. But today we're just turning it around and showing that it goes both ways. Both parties could be just as toxic as the other.
Well, Mary on Instagram just said, she thinks it's both ways. Actually, it is.
Absolutely.
And actually, it is. So 48.8% of women of men experience toxicity, while 49.9, I believe that's what it was. So it's almost the same exact. So both men and women are experiencing the same numbers of toxicity in the relationship. Right. So what we're actually discussing, for folks just tuning in on IG, we're discussing on Alvin After Dark how 48.8% of men experience toxic behavior from women and the things that they need to do. So we always talk about women experiencing toxic behavior from men, but we never talk about how men experiences those same experiences from women and what can men do. So, so that's what we're talking about here today on Alvin After Dark, which is tuned in every single Tuesday and on Facebook Live. So thanks, we're here. We got about 25 minutes available. So everyone who's just tuned in on IG, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate the love and support.
Yes,
so we're hanging out here on Alvin After Dark, which is brought to you by Body Aqua. Get your drink. So, some other things. What other video we got coming up on the screen, LA? What we got going on the screen? You can play them in any random order. It's fine by me.
Excuse me, what are you doing to that wall?
Spraying primer. I'm about to paint a mural.
Are you supposed to be doing that?
Are you supposed to be questioning me?
Well, I'm not just gonna stand here and watch you graffiti a wall.
You know what? I am so glad I charged my phone last night.
Fine, film me. But I'm still gonna need to see a permit.
Khalil, just show her the permit.
I'm not showing her shit.
Well, then I'll just call the cops.
No, don't call anyone.
I'm handling it. Put that down. You know how long Moroccan Sun's been on back?
Khalil, where is it? Look, he was hired by the owner of the coffee shop to paint this wall.
Really? On a Sunday in this neighborhood?
What's going on?
I'm a member of the co-op board at 1 Lexington. I'm going to need to see a permit for what this man is doing. And who are you?
I'm the owner of this coffee shop and I hired this man. I don't give a shit what board you're on. You can leave now.
And fuck you, a latte. I donated to Cory Booker.
Excuse me? You might as well say I have one black friend. What that's supposed to mean? And what, you probably fucked a black guy in college too? Congratulations, bitch. Happy Black History Month to you and yours.
So we played that for everyone. We played that for everyone. So what that was actually a clip of somebody who was interrupting a artist who was painting. It happened to be a white woman who was actually interfering with the situation of a black man painting a mural. And once again, she was just being a Karen, and her toxic behavior, once again, was alarming to everyone who was out there showing that she was just being, a Karen, So that's what happened. But like I said, if you're tuning in now After Dark, we're live every single Tuesday, Facebook Live at 10 p.m. on my page. And we are brought to you by Orderlies Direct, located at 4219 Merrick Road in Massapequa, New York. So if you're in the market for a new car lease, or purchase a car and don't want to spend hours and hours and hours at a dealership, please contact 516-442-4141. And it's Auto Lease Direct. Yes, Karen always shows up. Karen always shows up. But like I said, if you're tuned in, and we also want to give a platform to any entrepreneur who wants to come hang out with us on Alvin After Dark, who wants to market their product, give us some stuff to put on, showcase themselves, whatever it is. In the upcoming weeks, we're gonna have some people come on. I know Tamara's gonna be on here with her friend, who to portray her artwork in her art studio up in.
Are you speaking of Bridgewater?
Yeah, Bridgewater.
Hey, Bridgewater, how are you?
Yeah, we're gonna speak of Bridgewater, and she's going to showcase and talk about what she does with the community and things like that. So we're looking forward to having her here And I know, like I said, I spoke about my Vic over at the Hut. Also, someone else wanted to show. I have someone else coming to market themselves who does luxury. Train of thought, luxury items and things like that. So, like I said, it's just giving that platform to everyone here just to market themselves and to showcase who they are and what they are. Because I'm big on entrepreneurs and small businesses. For me, that's big because I'm an entrepreneur, you know, and I'm just big on, you know, helping everyone out, you know, things like that. You know, so what else we got here? What else we got? Any other videos we got for the people of LA? Now, if that was the mother, what would have happened?
A quick pickup.
Okay, and what does that do?
Doesn't teach them how to think for themselves.
It does not at all. And that is the difference between a man and a woman. And it's so important that people understand that. Listen, people would tell me, Alvin, you don't have kids, you don't know how to raise kids, this and that. You know, the teaching styles, you know, we go back to this. I know for a fact my friends, for the most part, was raised a certain way. And we were all pretty much raised the same way. And I said some of my friends who have kids now, especially my friends who are in my age group, or some people who are a little younger, but you are doing. I'm not telling you how to raise your kids. So I'm trying to not, you know, I'm trying to be mindful of what I'm going to say. You are doing a disservice to your kids if you do not allow them to grow the way they should grow. Is that a good way of saying it? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
I think because you do everything for them, they cannot do it themselves. So it's not giving them the ability to grow properly. You know, someone sent me something. I didn't send it to LA, but someone sent me something. I believe it was Oscar, if I'm not mistaken. I believe it was, but I think he sent it to me on. Yes, he sent it to me on. I think can I send it to LA real quickly? Do we have time? He sent it to me on Instagram. I'm going to read it. It says 1 in 6 bosses are wary of hiring Gen Z again. 1 in 7 might avoid doing so entirely next year. And it says, bosses are firing Gen Z grads just months after hiring them. Here's why. Lack of initiative. Cited by 50% of surveyed leaders, many feel new grads aren't showing the drive employers expect. Unprofessional behavior includes not adhering to workplace norms like punctuality and appropriate language and attire. You know, when I was at BMW, some young adults, 19, 20, 21 years old, came into the dealership. Summertime. Guess what they was wearing?
Sandals.
Yep. They came in for a job at BMW wearing pajama pants, fuzzy slippers, and sandals. Somewhere in sandals. It was a group of them. A group of friends.
I believe you.
Group of friends. Frequent lateness, tardiness to the workplace or meetings has caused frustration among bosses and team members. Completely. I'm in the reserves in the Army, been in the Army for over 20 years. We have soldiers that come to drill When I mean late, some soldiers will come in for lunch formation at 1 o'clock. Oh, I woke up late. Oh, I feel like coming. I'm talking about these are young people. These are young people, right? So, Ellie, did you get what I just sent you? Okay, so let's play it, right? So the first one says, so 1 in 6 bosses are wary of hiring Gen Z again. 1 in 7 might avoid doing so entirely next year, and that's real. That is the stats are real. You know, the next one says, disorganization. Employers are concerned about Gen Z's ability to stay on top of tasks and manage their workload effectively. And do you know why? This thing right here. We spoke about it before. They are glued to their phone. They're glued to their phone. They have no interpersonal skills. They have no people skills. They're socially awkward, and it's a shame, right? Also, poor communication. Struggle with workload. Over 20% of bosses say fresh grads can't handle the job day-to-day demands. What did Tamara say?
Well, she was actually talking about the kid who was figuring things out on their own.
Yeah. Can't make
developing independence and can't make good decisions, follow through, and problem solving.
Yeah. So that is a challenge in the workforce that's going on. You know, our generation, we have. Let's think about the timeline of what we've gone through. From what was it, ColecoVision, Atari, right? Nintendo, Sega,
Commodore 64.
We had our generation. Look at 8-tracks, then cassette tapes,
VHS,
vinyl, VHS, CDs, Walkman, Discman. Our generation went through the start and finish. It hasn't finished yet.
An evolution we went through.
We went through several revolutions of evolution of computers, video game systems, telephones, beepers, two-way pages, a public telephone, you know, dial-up internet. We went through all those things, but we also had to go outside and talk to each other. We had to go outside and play. So these young people are not getting it. You know, I love my niece. I love my niece. She comes to the house, she's just, you know.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
All of them, you know, all of them. All my nieces for the most part, you know. So, you know, one of the nicest things that happened when I went to Belize last year, when I first went back home to Belize, because if you're in a certain class level of, you know, class, you either afford to have a cell phone or you can't. Mm-hmm. So most of the kids in Belize don't have cell phones.
So they're allowed to be kids.
So when I would do my morning walk or I do my afternoon walk, you see kids afternoon, they are playing with each other. They are chasing each other. They're running, they're laughing, they're engaging, they're having conversations with each other.
That's boring to the privileged kids, if you want to say privileged, but the kids that live here, that's boring to them.
Yeah, even years ago, I went to Puerto Rico years ago. I think this had in 2011, 2012. I went to Puerto Rico to visit I was in Puerto Rico, and my boy, I went to visit him. I'm losing train of thought. Anyway, his sons was flying a kite. Yeah, I had never seen nobody fly a kite. This 2012. His sons were flying a kite.
The basic things.
And listen, one of his sons was running up the hill and he rolled back down the hill. He ran up the hill again and he rolled back down again.
That's a great childhood.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Get dirty, have fun.
So
street light comes on, check in.
You know, so it's
play all day.
Listen, I get it. Listen, everyone's not blessed to have 2-parent households. Everyone's not. It's fortunate, but you have to. you have to, and I get people don't want to have their kids raised how they were raised when they were kids. People say, oh, I don't want to have my kids be raised how I was raised, and I don't want to be as strict as my parents were. And I say, well, look how you turned out.
And don't deny them the fundamentals of childhood.
Yes, don't deny your kids the fundamentals of childhood. That's a great statement. Do not deny your kids the fundamental of being a child. Play with them, talk to them, ask them how their day was. What did you do today? Because also in London, in the UK, they said that certain schools is removing the analog clock from the classrooms because kids don't know how to tell time.
They don't even know the difference between AM and PM.
No, they don't. They don't.
They don't have that on the cell phone. It'll just say 10:51. It won't say 10:51 PM. So
no, they're
not familiar with that.
No, they don't.
They're clueless to it.
Very clueless, very clueless. Listen, if you're tuned in, if you're hanging out with us this evening, thank you very much for hanging out. We got a few minutes left where you're tuned in to Alvin After Dark, which is brought to you by Auto Lease Direct. Those lease brokers over there on 4219 Merrick Road in Massapequa, New York. I know most people don't want to spend hours and hours in a showroom. So all you got to do is contact those guys. They'll deliver a car to your home or your place of business. Also brought to you by Body Aqua. Body Aqua. This is nutrient fitness beverage. This is it right here. It's actually good. I'm not just saying it, but it's actually very, real good. So big shout out to my boy Sherman Williams, who had support him and picked up a couple cases for him. LA, you got anything going on for your night this evening?
No, I'm just enjoying the show, man.
Okay. Any toxic women in your life that you got rid of?
I've had my share of toxic women, boy.
He says it with confidence. How about you?
Experience is a good teacher.
Yes, experience is definitely a good teacher. Yeah, listen, I've had my share. I have. I think. Yeah.
I will tell you that I think one of your viewers said something about trying to fix, your partner.
Yeah.
And he said you can't do it. And that's one thing that I learned because I myself thought that I could make someone happy. I thought that I could fix everything, and you can't.
Yeah.
It's internal. There's nothing that you can do.
Correct.
That person needs to heal on their own. And until they heal, they're not going to be able to have a successful relationship. So there's really nothing you can do. So you can't get lost in that. I can fix them. I can make them happy because it ain't going to happen. You got to have help from them. They got to want it. They got to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially this time. Listen, I think once you pass that, let me say in your early 30s and mid 30s, and you go, up there where late 40s. I think that you're set in your ways, and you don't want to deal with the nonsense, and you don't have time to be fixed. I ain't got time to fix nobody. I'm not trying to fix you. I'm not trying to change you, especially if you don't want to be fixed or changed. I don't have the time or the box of crayons to play with you.
Yeah, well, you just got to make sure that, like, in the opposite spectrum, you get somebody who's at that age and they want a relationship so bad that they think that they can make it work.
Yeah.
And that's a trap right there. So as much as you want something, like we said, we can't fix that other person.
No, we definitely can't. You're right about that. You're definitely right about it. We definitely can't.
Healing first, right?
Yeah,
healing before dealing.
Yeah, it's right. Healing before dealing. That's a good one. Healing before dealing. And most people don't. Most people aren't healed. They're I don't know what it is, but they don't want to be healed. It's like they thrive off of it.
Back to what you had said earlier, a lot of them don't want to heal because a lot of them don't think that they're broken or need fixing. And that also goes back to their friends not correcting them, not telling them, hey, you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You approached that wrong. You handled that wrong. You dealt with that wrong. Like, your emotions are out of control. They don't get checked.
They don't.
So they go around thinking, okay, what I'm doing is right. What I'm doing is not affecting nobody. If there's a problem, you're the problem. I'm not the problem.
That's right. And no accountability.
No accountability.
I always wonder how many women check their friends when they're wrong.
Minimal.
Yeah.
A great friend I think will check you. A real friend will check you.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, your friends will be your friend. You're not always gonna agree to agree. You're gonna get each other's nerves. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we are running out of time, and once again, we want to thank you for always tuning in and catching us out here on Tuesday night, Alvin After Dark, every single Tuesday, 10 p.m. Facebook Live. LA, you have anything for the people before we leave?
No, I'm good, man.
How about you? Got anything for the people?
In the words of Russell Simmons, thank you, God bless. Good night.
Listen, remember, the good Lord don't put you through nothing you can't handle. It's all how you handle it. Listen, have a great night. Enjoy yourself. Stay warm.
Stay warm.
And we're going to see you next Tuesday.
Stay
Peace
cozy.
out. Enjoy.
Peace.
Peace.